a retro gamer and hobbyist artist with a lot of nerve. Crolister, the master of Pokétch. Hi guys, Crolister here with the third episode of the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Let's Play, where I will be playing up to the Veilstone City gym. Continuing on from where I left off on the previous episode, where I stopped just after I got the Forest Badge. And some of you may have seen that in the flash or wondering, how the heck did I get my Pokemon leveled up so high already? The Grand Underground. If you're patient enough to grind against the Pokemon in the Grand Underground, because of how high level they are, you can level up your Pokemon very quickly. So I'm all ready to go. So we're just gonna go into the building that requires cut, now that we have the Forest Badge, and deal with Team Galactic some more. Like usual, I will skip over the battles. And just tell you what Pokemon they have, because in this episode there's gonna be way too many. That girl has a Zubat and a Glammeow. And this guy has a Wurmple and a Cascoon. If you want, you can fight these as a double battle, by just walking in between both of them. This one is a trainer. A Wurmple and a Zubat. Not a threat at all. She only has a Silcoon, even more pathetic. And she's not even a trainer. She has a Wurmple, a Silcoon, and a Zubat. And he has a Kadabra. Alright, so, we're at the top of the floor, and there's another Galactic Commander having some beef going on with the owner of the bike shop. This is Commander Jupiter. She's not as much of a threat as Mars, in my opinion, though you shouldn't come after her unprepared. Like Mars, she has a Zubat, and that part will be easy. And then her main Pokemon is a Skuntank, which is version opposite of her ugly, so it makes sense. Since I have my Torterra, and it already has the move Earthquake, I'll make short work of it. Torterra learns Earthquake as soon as it evolves from Grotle, so yeah. So we got Team Galactic out of this facility, and we can go to the bike shop and get a bicycle now. Before I head off, though, notice how there's a shrub here. We can get the item bowl I couldn't get before now. And it's Thief. That move can be useful if you like to grind against wild Pokemon and steal their hold items. Alright, and we are to go to the bike shop. Let me restore first. Simply go in the bike shop and talk to the store owner. He will thank you for saving him by giving you a bicycle. He takes you outside to do it. And in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you can actually choose from one of 4 different colors. I'll take a green one. You require the bicycle to access the route south of Hearthome City, which is the Cycle Road. Before that, though, let's talk to this professor's aide. Our first rare candy of the playthrough. You always use those wisely. Now we're gonna mount the bike, and we'll be able to go south. You automatically move downward while on Cycle Road because it's like a ramp downward, and there are a lot of trainers to face on it. I will be fighting every single one for Pokédex reasons. So let's get into it, starting with this guy. He just has a Staravia. Remember that Starly's evolutions have the ability Intimidates. And so does the Pokemon she has, Shinx. He just has a Ponyta. She has a Starly and a Ponyta. He has a Starly and a Staravia. He just has a Zubat. Pushover. She has a pair of Shinx. And one more. she has a Pikachu, which, as you may know, is notorious for priority moves like Quick Attack. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure in Sinnoh you can only get Pikachu in the Trophy Garden, and that's not until after you get the Fen badge. So I'll use Luxray still for the moment. I got some berries. Let me take those. The joy of no more hidden machines. Yeah, that shrub was clearly there for a reason. See what else we got underneath the road. Some more berries, sure. The precision of the directional button movements in this game. There's literally one trainer here. I have no idea what a hiker's gonna have. He has a couple of Onyx, one of which actually has Sturdy. That's why my Torterra knows Bullet Seed. That cave is where you can get Gibble, except you need Flash to go in it. And yes, I know I missed an item. Didn't realize that while I was recording. I'm gonna have to go back there later and see what that item is. For now, though, we got a quest to complete. As soon as you go down here, Dawn stops you and offers you a little present, whether you want to pick her right hand or left hand. Versus Seeker. The best part of Fire Red and Leaf Green. And then she also gives you the other item as well, which is the Dowsing Machine, also known as the Item Finder. In the Sinnoh region, the Dowsing Machine is a Pokétch app, and it's a lot easier to use than the Item Finder in Fire Red and Leaf Green is, for sure. So you can just walk around any route you've cleaned out the trainers of and just look for hidden items. This takes you right back to Orberg City. With the bicycle, you can press B to shift between low and high gear. And in high gear, you can just ride up slopes like those. Just remember that high gear makes you accelerate a bit slower. This picnicker just has a Pachirisu. How's Pachirisu even bulky? And the camper just has a Ponyta. Much easier to deal with. He has a Geodude and a Bronzor. Bronzor was one of the most annoying Pokemon to fight against in trainer battles in the original Diamond and Pearl. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, they're a little bit less annoying since the Steel type doesn't resist Dark and Ghost type moves anymore. And Hypnosis has 60% accuracy instead of 70% accuracy. That one has a Starly, a Chimchar, and a Geodude. The Starly has quick attack, unfortunately. That one has 3 Geodudes and a Zubat. See what this is. I'm definitely not going to use that item in this game. And then we have a Battle Girl. We can't get that item until we get the 7th gym badge. She just has a Meditite and a Machop. Alright, so, looks like we're going to enter the Mount Coronet Tunnel. This is where you first meet Cyrus, Team Galactic's boss. Just a foreboding introduction to him. Nope, no hidden item there. We're gonna have to go back to this very spot of Mount Coronet later for the game's climax. Just a couple of Geodudes. This one just has a Machop. Speed, definitely not going to use. He just has an Onyx, and it has Sturdy. She has a Combi and a Roselia. One final trainer here. He has a Mime Junior and a Bonsly. Down here, you need to talk to this black belt. It's kind of hard to see him. He gives you a vital item called an Odd Keystone. You're supposed to take this to the Hallow Tower, and then you're supposed to talk to several people in the underground. And of course, that's how you get Spiritomb. So here we are at Hearthome City. Is it Hearthome or Hearthome? Unsure. This woman that's involved in contests and her bunnery come at you. And you're supposed to go to the contest building in the city. So that's what we're gonna do. Still random getting jump scared by someone's Pokemon. You cannot go south of here where the trophy garden is until after you get the Fen badge. Because the game wants you to go to the Veilstone City gym first. There's a gym in Hearthome City, and the woman you see at the contest building, Fantina, is its gym leader. However, this is not the gym that you are to confront next, unless you're playing Platinum. So we're just gonna go in here. What a surprise. Stickers are to put on your ball capsules, and they personalize the entry effects of your own Pokemon. And you wear a tuxedo while doing the contests in this game. Contests are totally optional, though kind of fun if you want an additional kind of challenge in a way that doesn't involve typical Pokemon battling. Now we're gonna go to the Pokemon fan club and talk to the chairman here. After a long story, you'll get the Poffin case. Poffins, which are made from berries in the contest room's kitchen house somewhere in the city, will hold Poffins after you make them out of berries, which can enhance your Pokemon's attributes for contests. And the woman that's in the same house will give you a friendship ribbon after your Pokemon hit maximum happiness. The place we're going next is the Amity Field. You can only use a select few Pokemon in the Amity Field, and there's an item you definitely want to get here. How about Drifloon for me? You can also use your starter, by the way, like you could in Platinum. Oh, I guess, if you have more than one eligible Pokemon in your team, they all come out and enjoy the fresh air at once. That's cool. If you run around and take a certain number of steps with your Pokemon and then interact with them, you can get certain items like berries that you can't get anywhere else. Volt Switch. My Luxray just learned that move, though. There's also a special Poffin Cooker. Attracts. A move I'm probably not going to use ever. I like how there's these little ruins, shrines, in the Amity field. That's an interesting touch. There's my own Torterra just chilling out there. Hanging out with a cute little balloon Pokemon. Even though that balloon Pokemon in question kills little kids. It almost kills a kid in Pokemon Legends Arceus, in fact. There's our first plate item for Arceus, the Spooky Plate. This building's empty. This one, though, has a very useful holding item called the Amulet Coin, which doubles the amount of prize money you earn if the Pokemon with it appears in a trainer battle. Definitely an item I'm going to be using, with the Versus Seeker and stuff. Like I said, if you run around enough and then interact with your Pokemon, you can get a certain item. However, I'm totally messing it up. You can use the step counter app on the Pokétch if you know the exact number to help you remember. I just came here to get the Amulet Coin and the Spooky Plate. Then, after that, in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you can make your Pokemon follow you around in the field anywhere in the game. In the outside. And this works with absolutely any Pokemon you have. Interact with them after enough steps in order to get certain items like rare berries. For example, I'll have my Luxray walk with me. The Pokemon tend to not be able to catch up with you well enough in this game, and they can also get directly in your way and stop you from progressing. That's the con of doing it. And then we gotta battle Berry. So, let's get this over with. Like, shouldn't your Starly be a Staravia by now? That level. He'll have different Pokemon of grass, fire, and water types, depending on starter selection. Of course, the one and only fire type besides the Chimchar line is Ponyta and Rapidash, which suck. There aren't a lot of good grass types in the Sinnoh region besides its starter either. In my original playthrough, where I had Chimchar as my starter, the grass type I used was Roserade. and Roselia long before I felt comfy enough to use the shiny stone. So, I guess that's another reason why Empoleon sucks. Aqua Jets! Like the title screen of a Namco arcade game I played earlier this year. It's a jet ski racing game, so I guess I kind of find sense in the name of a move that's a priority attack having that name. There really isn't much else to talk about that I didn't already show in Hearthome City, except that there's a hiker at the end of the city before the next route that'll give you a Pokemon egg if you talk to him after you check out the contest room. Right here. And this egg hatches into a Happiny, the baby form of Chansey. It took forever, it seemed, to hatch it. I'm not used to hatching eggs without a Pokemon with the ability Flame Body or Magma Armor in my party. It's gonna be a real fun trip trying to hatch a Riolu, especially since I want one with Inner Focus and not Steadfast. That's what's gonna make it even harder. This Pokemon breeder has a Bonsly, a Badoo, and a Pichu. The Bonsly has Sturdy, so watch out. This fisherman is not a trainer. He gives you an item called the Good Rod. I didn't get the Old Rod, nor do I need it at all, because obviously you can only ever catch Magikarp with it. Whereas with the Good Rod, you can get the water types that appear in the Sinnoh Pokédex besides that, which will obviously be a lot more of use. The Super Rod is National Pokédex post-game only. Joggers only battle you during the morning, and it just so happens that I'm playing this game in the morning. He just has a Luxio. Let me get these berries. Got some stickers as well. Let me go get this item real quick. I caught a Bonsly along the way. It already has a Mimic, so if I just leveled it up once, it would evolve into a Sudowoodo. One step, and I get another encounter. Are you serious? It was a honey. Honey is useful in the Great Marsh, and you need it to find certain Pokemon through the honey trees, obviously. Alright, back to the main quest. We got twins, a double battle in other words. They have a Mime Jr. and a Bonsly. If I remember right, Mime Jr. is only in Diamond, and Bonsly is only in Pearl. Now we got a Pokékid. At least you can tell they're actually trainers and not Pikachus in this game. Her Pikachu didn't use Quick Attack on me, and I opened with Torterra. You know, ground types are immune to electricity. We have another jogger. Cyclists. In real life while I'm recording. That jogger just has a Staravia. She has a Mime Jr., a Cleffa, and a Badu. More baby Pokemon. I never understood what the mushrooms are really for. Alright, this is the Hallow Tower. Supposedly, without the odd keystone, it'll crumble, and you'll miss your chance to get Spiritomb. And the Pokemon will not appear right where you put it in. You have to talk to more than 30 people in the underground. They made it easier to do that in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl by adding NPCs that'll add to the concoction, and you can get Spiritomb that way. And obviously you have a wireless online connection to interact with people on the Switch, so that makes it even easier. There's also more than one odd keystone. There's one after you get surfing in Twinleaf Town, and you can get them in the Grand Underground by mining occasionally. This cowgirl is a total noob. Why would anybody come after you with 5 B-dupes? Seriously, that's like the stupidest idea ever. We'll worry about the Cemetery Tower later. That's where you get the move Strength, which we need to worry about after we're able to take on the 6th gem. Thanks to the Grand Underground and how high I was able to get my Pokemon to level up with that, though, I could probably take it on at any point at all. And then there's a Lovers double battle. They have a Machop and a Meditite. My Crobat can make short work of those. And I think from there we can just go right into Solaceon Town. Get some more berries. Gotta love berries. We still can't buy Great Balls. However, in this town you can buy Dusk Balls, which can be useful if you play the game at night, or if you encounter Pokemon in a cave. Heck, even the Grand Underground. This is the nursery. In the older games up to Gen 6, you could use this to level up your Pokemon just by walking around. However, in Gen 7 onwards, it's only for Pokemon breeding, so it's quite a downgrade. The Ruins Maniac you see here gives you the Nursery Checker Pokétch app, which allows you to immediately see as you change areas if a Pokemon you're breeding has their egg ready. And we're not going to do the Solaceon Ruins yet, because nobody cares about Unknown. Just remember, you have to go there to find Unknown at all. I could easily do that in the next episode, actually. Maybe I'll do that, because you can still get some items and trainer battles there. And you gotta catch at least one. I I caught a Ponyta. Not only is this Pokemon weak and slow to evolve, it's also not a promise to catch with a normal Pokeball. Alright, let's fight this Rancher. He has an Apom, a Girafarig, and a Psyduck. Definitely helpful for the Pokédex value. This tall grass is really getting on my nerves here, so let's fight this Jogger. He just has a Ponyta. I hate this tall grass on this route. You move more slowly in it, you can't ride your bike through it, and it seems like you get wild encounters in it more often than you do in normal grass. Technical Machine. Move it, Luxray. Here's a double battle. They have a Stunky and a Glameow. The Glameow has Fake Out. Cat Pokemon are notorious for that move throughout the series. Up here we have another double battle. They have a Pikachu and a Clefairy. I'm sure glad I got an awesome poison type to use against fairy types in this game. Let's see what you have. A Pichu, a Happiny, and a Pikachu. Alright, now I can get this item. Great Ball, nice. I'm still waiting for being able to buy Great Balls at Pokemart so I can refill those regularly. Pretty much the same as the previous Pokemon breeder I just battled, except Cleffa and Clefairy instead of Pichu and Pikachu. See these Psyducks? We're gonna go back here after we get the 4-Gen match. Let's see what we got in this little cafeteria here. She has a Clefairy. Both of these collectors over here are actually trainers. If you want even more money and experience points. This one has 3 Sudowoodos. And the other one, 3 Mr. Mimes. Yeah, those are the only trainers in the building. If you talk to this girl, though, she sells you Moo Moo Milk, which you can use to restore your Pokemon's vitality a little bit. Sure, I'll take 10. Alright, onwards. Typically, it rains in this route. Rain amplifies the power of water and electric moves and makes thunder guaranteed to hit, and it weakens fire and possibly grass-type moves. Definitely fire, not sure about grass. This Ruin Maniac has a Bronzor and a Shieldon. Shieldon's in other cases sturdy for ya. He has a Luxio, a Staravia, and a Ponyta. All of the Pokemon the previous hikers had. All the previous joggers had. I just remembered, I was about to forget this. There's one person in one of the houses in Hearthome City that gives you a shell bell if you talk to them. If I really wanted, I could have made one of my Pokemon hold one, and it can restore its vitality with every hit it lands. Not as important as the amulet coin, though highly useful. I'll definitely use it later. There are a lot of black belts here, so I'll be putting Crobat to use. Just before I put it to thorough use in the next gym as well. He has a couple of Meditites and a Machop. The Meditites have Detect and Feint, which is a priority move, so that slowed me down a lot. And here's another Arceus plate, the Fist plate for the fighting type. Awesome. He just has a Crogunk. It has the move Sucker Punch. Cut this shrub away to get some more berries. An item I'm definitely not going to use. He has a Crogunk, a Meditite, and a Machop. He just has a Staravia. Let me see what this is. Full heal? Meh. And just before we get to Veilstone, there's a couple of unavoidable ace trainers that can optionally be fought as a double battle. She has a Glameow and a Kadabra. And then... he has a Monferno and a Gyarados. I'm gonna get the item you see here before I head off. Almost forgot again. Shockwave. An electric type move that never misses. It'd be better to use on a Pokemon with better special attack than physical, though. That's kinda not the case with Luxray. There aren't a lot of good physical electric type moves that Luxray can learn. And it's also not the fastest. So, that's kind of what the letdown is. And with that, we are now in Veilstone City, which is where the actual third gym is. We're gonna worry about the Team Galactic grunts you see there later. There's quite a lot in Veilstone City. There's the department store, where you can buy already pretty dang good selection of different items. I mean, look at this! Forget Great Balls, we can get Ultra Balls now. Which is remarkable. I'm gonna have to buy some of those as soon as I feel like playing the game again. Max Potions, even. That's ridiculous. This clerk gives you a Pokétch app. The counter, which you can use to count a number of entries if you need to count some stuff in real life or while playing the game. There's also the clothing store, which replaces the game corner, and a woman that will massage one of your Pokemon daily, boosting their friendship towards you. Dawn talks to you outside of the Veilstone Gym. And as soon as you're ready, you can take it on. Just make sure you're prepared, because Maylene, the gym leader, is not a pushover. The gym is also hard to navigate, and I struggle to find the correct path. So, forgive me for hastiness in this part of the video. There are 4 trainers besides the gym leader. Pretty much everybody in the gym uses Meditite and Machoke, so a lot of these will seem like repetition. You gotta push these sliding walls away until you find the correct path, and it's hard to find some of them. So let me just fight all the trainers, and then I'll do some skipping ahead. That one has 3 Machokes. He just has a Meditite. And there's one more. He has a couple of Machokes and a Machop. Now excuse me while I struggle to find the correct path. After a bit of a helter-skelter of pushing slabs, we can finally confront Maylene, fighting type user. Let's go. Make sure you're ready, because this is a hard gym leader if you're not prepared. She opens with a Meditite. That's gonna be easy. Crobat swept the entire gym, and this'll be no exception. Then she has a Machoke, the other Pokemon I had to fight throughout the whole gym. And that's just gonna be the same. And now what's supposed to be the hard part, her ace Pokemon, Lucario. Lucario is a fighting and steel type, so it has a lot of resistances and even immunity to poison. So, your best bet would be to use like another fighting type, a fire type, or, in my case, a ground type. It's gonna be faster than me, so let's just take a hit from Screech. That's not gonna really do much. And Lucario simply does not survive a super effective hit from Earthquake. Bam. Made short work of him. There you go. Now that we've beaten Maylene, we have our third gym badge, the Cobble badge. And like always, she'll also give us stickers and technical machines. The move she gives you is Drain Punch. Alright, so, we are done here. We're not done with the video. There's some other details I need to show you. As soon as you exit the gym after you beat Maylene, Dawn will stop you and ask you to help her deal with some issues going ahead north of the city. Do you remember the Team Galactic grunts you saw earlier? Now we're gonna actually battle them. It's a bit easy to get lost in this place, since it's all cliff. There we go. You actually have to talk to Dawn to initiate the battle. And we're just gonna pair up with her and take them on both at once. Dustox and Beautifly. Pushovers. She has a Clefairy. That could prove useful. Crogunk. Crobat will make short work of that as well. That's not going to be anywhere near close to enough, so I'll have to finish it off myself. And then we have, nice, though not necessary. And then we have a Stunky. Some Stunky and Skuntank have the ability Aftermath, so you have to be careful about using direct hit moves on them. That one doesn't have it, so yeah. Alright, so now that that's done, we can now go into the place they were guarding earlier. And that just so happens to be where Fly is. We can use Fly outside of battle, since we got the Cobble Badge. And there's one more item I want to show you real quick before this episode ends. You also have to beat Maylene in order to access the mystery gift feature from the pause menu. Even though that's not of use anymore, obviously. Just like how you get an app from the Pokétch guy in Veilstone City for beating Roark, the memo pad, he'll give you another one after you beat Maylene. Just talk to him. And he'll give you the marking map, which you're gonna need later to deal with the roaming Pokemon. Alright, and that's going to wrap up part 3 of this Let's Play. I need to start using the analog stick for spinning moving forward. Consider subscribing or at least checking out my channel if you like any of the franchises listed, because I play and talk about them a lot and want to continue doing so for my channel. I am a hobbyist artist that makes fan art to different game characters and franchises I like, and will occasionally come out with Let's Plays of mostly retro games I had that I feel like are worth playing for sport on my channel. I have quite a lot in mind, so consider checking me out if you are interested. And the next part of this playthrough will go up in a week or so. Stay tuned for that, and plenty more. I am Crolister, Master of Pokétch. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys very soon.